What's up guys, it's Foxy here once again for another edition of Where's the Deals. This time around I will be featuring not only ads from the Facebook Marketplace, but also listings from OfferUp as well. This is the first time I've ever used a screen cap on my phone, so I apologize if the capture is a little on the wonky side at times. Anyway, we're just going to do a search for video games and whatever else and see what happens. Here's a listing for Wii games. $3 a piece or 4 games for $10, or you can even buy all of them for $25. And nothing really amazing here except that Mario Strikers game and maybe even Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I'd probably pick up both of those and ask if he'd take 2 for $5. $3 each or all for $15. I know absolutely nothing about the Wii U or its games, but I imagine this is a pretty good deal. If it was me, I would take all of them for that $15 price tag. I do know that the Zombie U game is a flop and relatively cheap, I think under like $5, but I imagine that the Sonic and Ninja Gaiden 3 are above the $5 mark. Either way, I can't say this is a bad deal whatsoever. This is kinda odd. The seller is bundling up 2 PS2 systems, 3 controllers and headsets, and over 50 games for $125. Then says they're worth that all day long and then some. You can calm down there with the arrogance a bit there, homie. It's a decent deal, I suppose, but worth that all day and then some? I mean, it's fine, but the deal would actually be good if the games that were included weren't games I could find at any used game store for under $5, and in some cases under $2 or $3. I can't speak for everybody, but if I were in the market for a PS2, I definitely wouldn't be after this listing because what the fuck do I need 3 headsets for and a spare PS2? The average person I think would buy a PS2 for under $50, a controller and a memory card and whatever games they want, and end up paying well under what this guy is asking. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy or something, but I don't really think even a reseller would want to waste their time on something like this. Wii U in 7 games, 140, 100 video games, 125? Huh? Oh, okay. Jesus, I thought I was about to have an aneurysm. Either you can buy the Wii U with the games for 140, or a whole shit ton of games that probably are nothing out sort of incredibly common titles for $100. Gotcha. That makes sense. I mean, I would say the Wii U one seems like a good deal, I guess, but look at how ratchet that system and controller look. And the games for $125 is also not bad, despite them being common. You're still going to save quite a lot of money buying this lot, unless there is a shit ton of sports titles hiding behind here. But I do have to raise a pretty big question whether or not the discs are in good shape. I say that because if the system looks like it's been thrown into a belt sander, I'm a little bit worried that the condition of everything else is not so good either. And it does worry me that he didn't take a picture of the screen of the controller. So who knows if that thing is all fucked to hell. I love this. This seller has a really nice variety of marquees, which I believe are from the front top things of the arcade machines, ranging from $25 to $50. I would love to own a stack of these and figure out how to mount them on my wall, or even put them in some like custom picture frame with lights behind it so it shines out. I think that would look really cool. Alright, here's a listing of PS1 games for $70. Very cool to see a black label Resident Evil 3 here. That game is worth quite a bit, I think around 40, maybe even $50, and Resident Evil 2 is just under 30. So those 2 games alone are definitely worth the $70 that the guy is asking. He also has some really great titles here, like the 2 Metal Gear Solid games, Soul Reaver, and Siphon Filter 1 and 3. For shits, I would see if he would take 60 for everything, and I would just end up selling the duplicates that I have, and maybe make half, if not more, of my money back. $2 a piece on the PS3 games, which equals out to $16 total for everything. It's a pretty good deal, although I would ask if he would take $10 or $12 if I were to buy everything he has. Honestly, I think I'm one of the very few people who really enjoyed that Medal of Honor game. I mean, graphically it's pretty terrible, I guess, but I thoroughly enjoyed the multiplayer personally. Alright, $45 for a Wii, a couple controllers with a dock, a few games including Wii Sports, Super Mario Bros., Mario Sports Mix, and Super Monkey Ball. For $45, it's absolutely worth that. But it makes me wonder if there's any games installed on the hard drive. Either way, it's still a fantastic deal. A lot of 13 gently pre-owned Xbox games for $50. But then he lists that some in good condition and some are scratched. Okay, so let's address the giant stupid elephant in the room here. If they are gently pre-owned, which I guess means gently used, how is it that they are scratched? Like, that literally makes no sense. Anyway, the games included are pretty good. I love the older Burnout games. Mortal Kombat, Sonic Heroes is a lot of fun, and I'm a massive fan of the PS2/Xbox era Fight Night games. That being said, I would never pay $50 for all of this. $30 is the maximum I would spend, and I wouldn't even want to do that, especially if some of them are scratched, as he notes. Okay, this is actually a pretty nice Xbox bundle with 2 controllers and 6 games. Couple decent titles here, nothing really worth over $3 to $5, but hey, the system alone with all the cords and the controllers is worth more than $30, so if you were in the market for an original Xbox, this really isn't a bad choice at all. I'm assuming the person wants $20 for everything, which is cool. Except they couldn't have possibly taken a worse photo if they tried. It's like flip phone quality. Despite that, I can sort of make out the games included, which are really good. Skate 2, older Call of Duty titles, Rainbow Six, and Blazing Angels 2. If everything is truly $20, then this is a very good deal. Seem to be on a better trend of finding actual deals on this app versus the Facebook Marketplace. Not sure why that is, but I'm not complaining or anything. Anyway, here's a PS3 bundle with 2 controllers, a slew of amazing games, all for $80. I'd be curious to know the size of the hard drive, but even if it's on the smaller end of the PS3 Slim spectrum, the system itself is still worth over $100. So if you were to include the games here and the 2 controllers, the value of this whole deal is, I believe, hovering around the $150 mark. And here's another really good PS3 bundle for $85. A 160GB console with 9 games and a controller. Like the last bundle, the games included in this set are also really damn good. I can do without the Lego games. I know a lot of people like those titles, but it's not my thing. I just can't get into them. Again, really great deal, especially for anyone who's just now getting into gaming and wants to start with a PS3. You know, I've seen this controller somewhere at some point. It's a Super Pad 64 Plus for the Nintendo 64. We all know how weird and kind of uncomfortable the Nintendo 64 controller is, so maybe this thing might be a better option. I don't know, it still looks like it would be a weird fit in the hands just based off the shape of the handles, but because I've never seen one of these or held one in person, it's hard to say. I did a little bit of research on the price, and $22 seems to be on the higher end of what they are worth, at least on eBay. I've seen these sell for as cheap as $12 all the way up to $25, depending on the condition, of course. Here's the last listing for today. $300 for a bunch of very common titles I can find at any used game store. Let's take a look at the description. I'm selling these games because I'm tired of them. Just give me 300 or 257. Take all of them. Do you owe someone some money there, bud? Like, where the fuck do you get 300 or some random ass number like 257 from? I mean, I'll give you 25 bucks and a sack of doorknobs, but you must be doing some hard ass drugs if you think someone in the history of the world is going to give you that kind of money for the nothing that you have. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this edition of Where's the Deals, everyone. In the future, I will continue to use apps to search for games because the Facebook Marketplace, I don't know what's going on, but all the good deals have seemed to dwindle. Like, it's very hard for me to really find anything these days, and I highly doubt you guys want to hear me do nothing but bitching and moaning about overpriced listings the entirety of the videos. Or maybe you do? Either way, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, so thank you all very much for watching, and as always, take care.